Oh boy everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and today's gonna be another freaky day. So everyone, right in front of me is the all-new Zoom Freak 4 from Nike, of course. This is, of course, the signature sneaker of Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's his fourth signature sneaker from Nike. And before we talk about the sneakers, let's talk about the box and how it looks. I kind of like this box. I don't know if it's the same color in all colorways, but this box kind of looks complementary to this colorway, but I think they'll be using the same box. I'm not too sure with that, but I'm betting it will be the same because of cost efficiency. On this box, the green pattern is his logo, and it goes to the back, and there's a Nike swoosh here up front where you open the box, and Antetokounmpo on the other side, and here is his signature on the lateral part of the box, and of course the size tag here on the other side. So inside it's just plain white. It has tissue, but I'm liking the color of the box. It's cooler, it's more fresh, and the overall feel looks like Athens, Greece in my opinion. Going back to the sneakers, of course, let's discuss first the upper material of the Freak 4s and how it looks. This is just my first impression. I actually wear them over here in my office, and I'm gonna play with them later. But initial feel on the materials, this is a mesh material. It's a dual material mesh upper. It has this kind of screen mesh here on the front, and another type of screen mesh with a different pattern on the lateral side of the midfoot, and a jersey-like material on the middle part of the sneaker, plus on the tongue to give a little bit more ventilation to the sneaker. This jersey material is a little bit softer compared to the one on the toe box and on the lateral part, simply because you don't need that much support on the middle part of the sneaker. You need the support more on the lateral part, and of course around the forefoot part. When you stop and you do lateral steps to the sneaker, those are the areas where you need your support more. And as for the heel part material, it's another mesh material at the back. There's an internal heel counter to the sneaker, and the material here, this black area, is similar to the material found on the lateral part. And on top part is a synthetic leather material, and embroidered is Freak on the left foot, and on the right foot it has his logo here. And as for the first feel of the sneaker, I felt like the shape of the sneaker is geared towards the regular and narrow footer. It's pretty snug in the forefoot and around the midfoot, so wide footer, watch out for it. If you're planning to cop this pair, I suggest you wait for it to arrive first in the stores and give a fit at it. If you're a regular footer or a narrow footer, this is a nice sneaker for you. If you're comparing it with other sneakers, I would compare it more to the Jordan 34 shape and some Kobe sneakers, which is more snug around the forefoot and around the mid part of the sneaker. Another thing that will catch your attention is, of course, this reverse swoosh, which is really large on the Freak 4. Aside from giving a very nice aesthetic look to the sneaker, this reverse swoosh will also give you the support that you need laterally. There's another swoosh here in the middle part, and this is just mainly for aesthetic, but I want to compliment Nike because it's embroidered. It gives a very nice design aspect to the sneaker, and with this kind of green on this colorway, I really dig the color of this one. It looks very like a summer sneaker, and of course in the swoosh is a zebra print. I think this gives homage to the original country of Giannis, which is of course Africa. The tongue is a half booty upper. It is stitched in the footbed so that it won't move at all, so it's fixed like that, and it's very easy to put your foot in. And as for the heel cup and heel counter, the Achilles pillows is not that thick, but once you wear it, because it's a pretty snug shape to a sneaker, it gives you a very nice fit. It doesn't have heel slippage as of the moment. I'm currently wearing a very thin socks right now, and my heel wasn't slipping on this one. So I think when I wear my regular sports socks, when I'm playing with this one, I think I won't be having any problems with the heel containment of the Freak 4s. As for the insole, it is a standard Ortholite insole, nothing too fancy, but when you look inside, there's some holes here. The strobo board around the heel is cut out, and you can see the foam, And what's nice about that is you can immediately feel the foam right around the heel part of the sneaker, thus giving you a better impact protection. Compare that if there's another strobo board there, which around the forefoot part there's a strobo board, but it's not the very thick and cardboardy like strobo board, but it's made out of a very kind of thick foam. It's like a foam-like material, or a microfiber material, or neoprene material rather. Still not as comfy, as of course, if there's a hole in it. So when I'm pressing around those holes, I could immediately feel the foam compared to when I'm pressing on the other parts of the strobo board, because of course the strobo board has glue in it, and when the glue hardens, it is harder, thus you can feel the foam immediately when you're stepping on the sneaker. Now, speaking of the cushion of the Freak 4, of course, it comes with the dual zoom pods in the forefoot, which is placed around the ball of your foot. Very similar to the Freak 3 if you have those and if you have played with them. The zoom pods are exposed medially and laterally so that it has room to expand. At the same time, still caged so that it won't be unstable at all. And even at the back part, or rather the bottom part, you can touch the zoom pods here, and I'm pressing on it. And when I was trying out here in my studio, right off the box, there's a slight bounce to it, but I hope when I use them more and warmed up the foam, I would feel the zoom pods more after playing with them for several hours. I'll give you an update on that on the performance review. And as for the foam at the heel part, it is really soft. I'm not too sure if this is a React foam because it has a similar pattern in the React foam, but not too quite sure with that, because usually if it's a React foam, it will have a Nike React logo, but it really looks like a React foam or a very plush Cushlon or injected Phylon. But out of the box, the feel of this foam is very plush. It has a very nice compression to it, and when you see the logo on the right pair, this is a GT Run logo. I don't have the box of my GT Runs anymore, but this is the logo of the GT Runs. And on the GT Runs, of course, you know that the carrier foam for the GT Runs is Nike React. So I'm not too sure. So Nike, hopefully you'll clarify that. I know you're watching this video and you're following this channel, so hopefully you'll put that in the tech spec soon when you launch the sneaker. As for the traction of the Freak 4, it is a chaotic pattern. It is very curved and it's very aggressive when you look at it, and the rubber material treads are very pliable and kind of deep, but I wouldn't recommend this to be used outdoor. And my pair, it's not an EP version. It doesn't have any EP logo on it, and it doesn't have the XDR tag that came with it. I'm not too sure if they will be releasing the EP version because I got my pair here in the Philippines. So this one's rather pliable, at the same time very thin. I wouldn't recommend it to be used outdoor because rubber materials can tear easily. And as for the heel part of the traction, it's also very thin, so you can look at it, but they look ultra aggressive, so it looks very promising. But when I was testing it here in my floor, there was a squeak when I'm pedaling, but when I'm doing the sudden stop, it wasn't squeaking that much. So hopefully it will break in nicely when I played with them. Also, the shape of the outsole is a decoupled outsole. This part of the outsole is separated from this, and there's a foam separating the two outsoles. So usually on this type of sneaker, it has a very nice heel-to-toe transition, and the shape of the sneaker is rather nice, curve in the forefoot and a nice rounded shape at the heel. Yeah, look at that. So it has a very nice curve to it. It's pretty flexible, but I think there's a plate here in the middle that gives extra stability or torsional support to the sneaker and giving a little spring back to the Freak 4s. As for sizing, I went true to size for a regular footer like me. So this is a US 11, and the weight of it for US 11 is 385, I think. So I think this is one of the lightest sneakers out in the market, very similar to the Cosmic Unities and the Wow 10 that I'm reviewing. So Today's sneakers are very light, and the Freak 4s is not an exception. And comparing it to the Freak 3s, I think the Freak 3s was around 450 if I'm not mistaken, and the lessen the weight of the sneaker, which I think is good. But what's nice about it is it doesn't feel flimsy at all for its weight, 385. So hopefully it plays really nicely. I'll let you know in my performance review of this. So the price for the Freak 4 is 7,000 pesos, or around 140 US dollars. And this colorway is soon to be released here in the Philippines. And actually I saw Jordan Clarkson wear this over at the game versus Saudi Arabia last night. So hopefully this will be a very good performer. I'll let you know soon. So this has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by this channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.